Projects which are not tailored for the application are not worth it to even show, unless you really don't have anything to show. In that case, you might be like a total beginner, then it's all up to chances. But chances don't guarantee jobs, and that's why we have so many struggles in the market, because people apply with things which are not up to par or the expectations of the hiring teams or managers, whoever are assessing your applications. Hey Design Squad, welcome back. And in this video, let's talk about work. Let's talk about projects which can separate you from the crowd. There are at least 3 different types of projects which any designer should have in their UX portfolio. And that is going to allow you to excel and stand out from the rest of the crowd. And right off the bat, the challenge here is that you're always going to be applying for a position which hundreds of other applicants apply. Quite literally, when I make an opening in my team, there's tens, hundreds of submissions and everybody wants to get in. To be entirely honest and frank, a lot of candidates which apply, even seniors and leads, they have very superficial work, or like a surface level type of UX, which is more of a UI work. You know that already, that you must do proper user research to do UX, and that's what counts for UX roles specifically. But the surface level doesn't end there. It's not just that they don't go deep in the research, it's also the type of a project, the complexity. And nothing better stands out from the competition and makes your portfolio super strong than enterprise level, super complex applications, decision support, apps which enable people to complete the tasks behind the scenes. They're viewed as less sexy, quote unquote, type of solutions, because everybody, especially the junior designers, try to join the startups and do fancy apps which customer bases use. But in reality, those apps are not that impressive because they just simplify the flow which is already in place. But what makes a candidate stand out is ability to take the super complex challenge and unify it in a very cohesive, meaningful experience for the user. Doesn't matter what the scope is, as long as you apply the user research and do UX properly, it's gonna make you stand out immediately from the crowd. It immediately showcases to me, and as a hiring manager, that you're able to do a lot and you go beyond just the surface level, like websites and commerce interfaces and things of that nature. Very simple type of flows which any designer should be able to answer, even if they're, let's say, just a junior. And the second thing, and the second project which can make you stand out from the competition, is really the research projects. And it almost doesn't matter if you're a product designer or you're just a UI designer. If the research projects which you do on your own because you want to actually can count as a super strong case study, because chances are you might not be able to display a lot because of the NDAs. Maybe some projects just don't allow for proper user research. You need to do it anyways, because ultimately, if all you do is product design and you cannot go deep into the research, well, how else are you gonna show us that you can do it? You need to make your own projects. Simple as that. And so jumping in and creating the research case study, capturing behaviors, attitudes, the potential changes, the triggers, the methods you want to maybe change the user behavior or maybe provide them with better ways to do so, is going to boost your portfolio immediately. And that's why writing the portfolios is so important, because if you think about it, you might have something like an app, you might have research case study, you might have something else, any type of service or product. And once you apply, you can be selective which of the case studies you want to assemble into a new portfolio. As you remember from my other videos, you must tailor your portfolios for the specific applications, just like you would, let's say, the resumes if you apply into team lead or management role versus individual contributor role. The qualities would have to be different, and same as for UX work. And the more senior you get, you're gonna get more case studies, so you can assemble new case studies which are tailored for that position, and it's much more likely you're gonna get in. And that segues into my second point: projects that are relevant for a position. As a hiring manager, I have very specific skill set in my mind. I have very specific, portfolio I'm looking for, the qualities in a portfolio I'm looking for. And all of that should be listed in the job spec. All of that should be listed in, the department, the team, the company you're applying for. All of that has to be relevant. You need to do your research. You need to tailor your resume, and the projects you put in have to be relevant for the application. You shouldn't just roll in with the case study of something like e-commerce site and apply with that for, let's say, decision support or AI or machine learning type of, scenarios and tools, let's say enterprise tools, because that's just not gonna stick. It's like a night and day. To me, it immediately says that you wouldn't be able to handle complexity. But if you would, then show it, unless you really don't have anything to show. In that case, you might be like a total beginner. Then it's all up to chances, but chances don't guarantee jobs, and that's why we have so many struggles in the market, because people apply with things which are not up to par or the expectations of the hiring teams or firms or managers, whoever are assessing your applications. In reality, you're not just gonna be able to immediately click your fingers and summon those projects. It might take you years. It might take you half a decade. As you learn, you should be striving to enrich your portfolio and strive to get those projects. And my best advice for it is never to fake it first and foremost, but second best advice to just strive and look after those things. For example, if you have a developer buddy or you have someone who's reaching out to you and asking, hey, could you come and design this experience for me? Consider if that adds to your portfolio, if it actually enables you to kind of enrich it, if it showcases your best skills possible in UX, in research, in tailoring for future applications. Do you want to join a specific industry and specific company? Then think backwards. What sort of work would they need? And then try to look for that work. Make side projects about that work. Make something relevant to those applications. And you're gonna definitely excel against someone who just did the minimum, who just collected some case studies, but not relevant, not in depth, not that complex as needed, let's say. It all depends what you're after, but ultimately this is the gist of it. Let me know what you think about it though. Leave a comment down below and check other videos around me. I'm always leaving them somewhere here. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and on that note, I'll see you next time.